Have you ever wondered what it was really like growing up in a family of 19 kids under one roof? For two of the Duggar sisters, life under the same roof didn't always mean a close bond. In a recent conversation that has fans talking, Jinger and Joanna Duggar opened up about why they weren't especially close as children, revealing a surprising detail about how their massive family was often segregated by sections. Their honest reflections shed new light on the everyday realities behind the cameras of their long-running reality show, and the story is more layered than many expected. Stick around as we break down everything they shared, why it mattered then, and how their relationship has transformed today. The Duggar family first captured national attention in the mid-2000s through their TLC reality series, which began as 17 Kids and Counting and later became 19 Kids and Counting. Jim, Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their large family in Arkansas under a strict conservative Christian lifestyle, and viewers watched the children grow up, court, marry, and start families of their own. Among the 19 siblings are Jinger, now 32 and married to Jeremy Vuolo, and Joanna, 28 and married to Austin Forsyth. Both women have 3 children each and have stepped somewhat outside the spotlight in recent years while still remaining connected to their roots in different ways. Jinger hosts the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, where she and her husband discuss faith, family, and personal growth. It was on a recent episode of that podcast that Joanna appeared as a guest, and the two sisters took a candid look back at their childhood dynamic. What they revealed offers a rare window into the quieter, less publicized aspects of growing up in such a large household, and it sets the stage for understanding how their relationship evolved into something stronger as adults. On the July 29th episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, Jinger posed a direct question to her younger sister: were the two of them close growing up? Joanna's answer was straightforward. She said they were close in proximity but not relationally, adding that the bond simply was not really there. That admission alone surprised some longtime viewers who had watched the sisters interact on screen over the years. Jinger then offered her own explanation, pointing to their 4-year age difference and the way the large family naturally divided itself. She explained that she felt the age gap was segregated by sections. In their household, the children were often grouped into older kids, middle kids, and younger kids. For many years, Jinger found herself in the older section, part of what she described as the 6th oldest. When the family attended political events or other group activities, she recalled being placed with the older half, while Joanna felt more like one of the little kids, sandwiched between a lot of boys. Jinger noted that the age difference felt significant when they were younger, even though it seems smaller now that they are both adults with their own families. Joanna agreed that the age gap played a role but placed greater emphasis on their differing personalities. She described herself as someone who refused to be a girly girl. She did not want to wear nice clothes and often preferred the boys' t-shirts, sometimes wearing the same one for days. Anytime the family needed to go somewhere, it became a constant battle to get her out of those casual shirts and into something more presentable. Joanna admitted she could never understand why her sisters enjoyed shopping so much. Those clashing interests, she said, created distance between them. Jinger, by contrast, was more inclined toward the feminine activities and clothing that Joanna resisted. The sisters acknowledged that their different temperaments made it harder to connect during those years, even while living under the same roof and sharing many of the same daily routines that defined the Duggar household. Interestingly, the distance began to close once they entered adulthood and started families of their own. After Joanna married Austin Forsyth in 2017, the two sisters grew closer. Jinger was already married to Jeremy Vuolo by then, and both women found themselves in similar seasons of life as young mothers. Joanna shared that even though she and Jinger now live far apart, Jinger in California and Joanna in Arkansas with much of the extended family, she talks to Jinger more than any of her other sisters. She described their conversations as pressure-free and easy, noting that when they reconnect it feels as if no time has passed. Joanna also mentioned that she has grown to appreciate some of the interests she once rejected, including shopping. The sisters now share a more relaxed and genuine friendship rooted in mutual understanding rather than the structured closeness that came from simply sharing a home. This conversation stands out because it humanizes the experience of growing up in a family that spent years in the public eye. Reality television often showed the Duggars as a tight-knit unit working together on chores, attending events, and supporting one another's milestones. Yet, Jinger and Joanna's reflections reveal that even within that structure, natural age divisions and personality differences shaped individual relationships in lasting ways. Their willingness to discuss those dynamics openly on the podcast adds nuance to the broader story of the family. It also highlights how time, shared life stages, and intentional effort can transform relationships that once felt distant. Both women are now navigating motherhood with 3 children each, and that common ground appears to have strengthened the bond that was missing in their younger years. Fans and media outlets have responded to the sisters' comments with a mix of understanding and curiosity. Many viewers who followed 19 Kids and Counting expressed appreciation for the honesty, noting that it makes sense for children in such a large family to form closer ties within certain age groups. Some longtime watchers said the revelation explained moments they had noticed on the show where certain siblings seemed more connected than others. Others focused on the positive side of the story, celebrating how Jinger and Joanna have built a stronger relationship as adults despite living across the country from each other. A portion of the online conversation centered on the broader challenges of raising 19 children and the practical realities of organizing such a large household, with commenters pointing out that age-based groupings were likely a practical necessity for events and daily life. Overall, the reaction has been largely measured, with most people treating the sisters' reflections as a thoughtful look back rather than a source of controversy. Looking ahead, both Jinger and Joanna continue to share aspects of their lives through social media and, in Jinger's case, the ongoing podcast. Viewers can expect more conversations that explore family dynamics, personal growth, and the ways their experiences have shaped them as parents. No major announcements have been tied directly to this particular discussion, but the sisters' openness suggests they remain willing to revisit chapters of their past when it feels relevant. Fans who follow their individual journeys will likely keep watching for updates on how their relationships with each other and the wider family continue to evolve. In the end, Jinger and Joanna Duggar's recent conversation offers a clear and personal look at why 2 sisters who shared the same crowded home and the same public platform still felt a distance growing up. The combination of a 4-year age gap, natural groupings within a family of 19, and contrasting personalities created a gap that proximity alone could not close. Yet their story does not end there. As adults and mothers, they have found common ground and built a closer connection that feels natural and pressure-free. Their willingness to speak honestly about both the distance and the later closeness adds a meaningful chapter to the long-running public narrative of the Duggar family. What are your thoughts on this latest Duggar family update? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Duggar family update.